Let's go through Year 4 Homework 23 together, step by step. Question 1. Where does Danny live? You have 4 choices. Option A, in a bustling city, which means a busy, crowded city. Option B, in the English countryside, which is a more rural environment. Option C, in a remote island, which would be far away and isolated. Option D, in a grand mansion, which is a very large and fancy house. The correct answer is option B, in the English countryside. Remember, the story talks about rolling hills and a peaceful, rural place. That's the countryside. Option A is wrong, because the story doesn't mention any cities. Option C is wrong, because there's no mention of Danny living on an island. Option D is wrong because Danny lives in a cozy cottage, which is the opposite of a grand mansion. Question 2. Who goes on adventures with Danny? Option A, his mother. Option B, his best friend. Option C, his father, Mr. Victor Hazel. Option D, his pet dog. The correct answer here is option C, his father, Mr. Victor Hazel. The story often shows Danny and his dad exploring together. Option A is wrong because Danny's mother isn't in the story. Option B is wrong because Danny doesn't have a best friend in the story. Option D is wrong because a dog doesn't join them on their adventures. Question 3. How would you describe the bond between Danny and his father? Option A, ordinary, meaning normal or not special. Option B, weaker than a bloodline bond, meaning not as strong as family usually is. Option C, extraordinary and stronger than any bloodline, meaning super special and stronger than family usually is. Option D, non-existent, meaning it's not even there. The answer is option C, extraordinary and stronger than any bloodline. The story tells us their bond is really, really special. Option A is wrong, because their bond isn't just ordinary. It's described as special. Option B is wrong, because the story says their bond is stronger, not weaker. Option D is wrong, because they definitely have a bond. Question 4. What was Danny's father's hidden talent? Option A, singing. Option B, dancing. Option C, painting. Option D, poaching. The correct answer is option D, poaching. Remember, Danny finds out his father is a masterful poacher, meaning he's really good at hunting illegally. Options A, B, and C are incorrect because the father never sings, dances, or paints in the story. Question 5. Where did Danny and his father set traps for pheasants? Option A, in their own backyard. Option B, in the local park. Option C, on the grand estate of Mr. Victor Hazel. Option D, in a nearby forest. The answer here is option C, on the grand estate of Mr. Victor Hazel. The story tells us they were trapping on Mr. Hazel's land. Option A is wrong, because they didn't use their backyard. Option B is wrong because a local park isn't mentioned. Option D is wrong because even though there are woods, the story says they specifically trapped on the estate. Question 6. What did Mr. Hazel plan to organize? Option A, a treasure hunt. Option B, a picnic. Option C, a shooting party. Option D, a costume party. The correct answer is option C, a shooting party. This is what Danny and his father wanted to disrupt. Options A and B are wrong because there's no treasure hunt or picnic in the story. Option D is wrong because no one planned a costume party. Question 7. Why did Danny and his father build a poaching machine? Option A, to catch rabbits. Option B, to win a contest. Option C, to outsmart Mr. Hazel. Option D, to explore the countryside. The answer is option C, to outsmart Mr. Hazel and ruin his shooting party. Option A is wrong because they weren't trying to catch rabbits. Option B is wrong because there wasn't a contest. Option D is wrong because they weren't exploring. They already knew the land. Question 8. How did Danny's invention affect the hunters? Option A, it made them leave the party early. Option B, it frightened them away. Option C, it helped them catch more pheasants. Option D, it left them in awe and disbelief. The correct answer is option D, it left them in awe and disbelief. The hunters couldn't believe the birds were just vanishing. Option A is wrong because the hunters were shocked, not necessarily leaving. Option B is wrong because they were more surprised than scared. Option C is wrong because the invention stopped them from catching birds. How did Mr. Hazel feel after Danny's plan succeeded? Was he A, proud and victorious, B, bewildered and humiliated, C, relieved and grateful, or D, excited and inspired? The correct answer is B, bewildered and humiliated. This is stated directly in the text. Options A, C, and D are incorrect because they describe positive emotions, which Mr. Hazel definitely did not experience. Moving on to question 10. What lesson did Danny teach his father? Was it A, the importance of honesty, B, the joy of nature, C, the beauty of imagination, or D, the value of compassion? The correct answer here is D, the value of compassion. Saving the pheasants showed kindness toward wildlife. Option A is wrong because honesty wasn't the main focus. Option B is partly true, but not the main lesson, and option C is about creativity, not the central theme. Question 11. How did the people perceive Danny after his adventure? Did they think A, he was a troublemaker? B, they forgot about him? C, they considered him a hero? Or D, they misunderstood his intentions? The correct answer is C, they considered him a hero. Remember, the final paragraph calls him a hero in the hearts of the people. Options A, B, and D are wrong because the townspeople admired, remembered, and appreciated him. Question 12. What word best describes the atmosphere of the English countryside? Was it A, miserable, B, serene, C, crowded, or D, chaotic? The correct answer is B, serene. Think about the descriptive phrases like golden sunlight and emerald meadows creating a calm and beautiful scene. Options A, C, and D don't fit with the peaceful imagery. Question 13. What did the sun do on the day of the shooting party? Did A, it hide behind the clouds, B, it set early, C, it bathed the meadows in golden glory, or D, it rained heavily? The correct answer is C, it bathed the meadows in golden glory, which is directly quoted from the text. Options A, B, and D are wrong because the weather was bright, not gloomy, early setting, or rainy. Question 14. How did Danny and his father feel before setting their plan into motion? Were they A, nervous and anxious, B, disappointed and defeated, C, confused and lost, or D, excited and anticipatory? The correct answer is D, excited and anticipatory. Remember, their hearts were pounding with anticipation. Options A, B, and C don't represent their confident mood. Question 15. How did Danny's victory impact his bond with his father? Did A, it create a rift between them? B, it have no effect on their bond? C, it make their bond weaker? Or D, it make their bond stronger than ever before? The correct answer is D, it made their bond stronger than ever before. The story tells us this directly. Options A, B, and C contradict the text conclusion. Lastly, question 16. What does the word idyllic mean in the context of the passage? Does it mean A, unpleasant and chaotic, B, ordinary and unremarkable, C, peaceful and perfect, or D, mysterious and enchanting? The correct answer is C, peaceful and perfect. Idyllic scenery is ideal and calm. Options A and B are the opposite of idyllic, and option D suggests intrigue, not perfection. Together step by step. Question 17. Using the porcupine passage, we need to figure out what a quill probably is. Is it soft, short, sharp, or silly? The correct answer here is option C, sharp. Think about it. Needles that are meant to keep predators away would need to be pointed, right? Option A, soft, is wrong, because needles aren't soft. That wouldn't be very effective for protection. Option B, short, is wrong because the passage doesn't talk about the length of the quills. It's the sharpness that helps protect the porcupine, not how short they are. And option D, silly, is wrong because silly describes how someone acts, not what an object is like. Question 18. Why do porcupines have quills? Is it to protect them from other animals, to attack other animals, to look beautiful, or to help them climb trees? The correct answer is A, to protect them from other animals. The first paragraph tells us this directly. Option B is wrong because the passage says that porcupine shooting quills is just a myth. Option C is wrong because looking attractive to find a mate isn't mentioned anywhere. And option D is wrong because climbing trees has nothing to do with why they have quills. Question 19. According to the passage, What's a false idea that people used to believe about porcupines? Did they think porcupines only live in Africa, that they're all nocturnal, that they can't climb trees, or that they can shoot their quills? The correct answer is D, that porcupines can shoot their quills. The text tells us that this isn't true. Options A, B, and C aren't mentioned as things people wrongly believed about porcupines. Question 20. In paragraph 2, what does the word nocturnal mean? Does it mean growing very large, active at night, eating only plants, or living in treetops? The correct answer is B, active at night. The passage actually tells us the definition of nocturnal. Options A, C, and D don't match the explanation given in the passage. Question 21. Where do New World porcupines live? Do they live in Africa, Asia, Europe, or the Americas? The correct answer is D, the Americas. Paragraph 3 says that they live in North and South America. Options A, B, and C are where you'd find Old World porcupines. Question 22. Which of these is not a difference between Old and New World porcupines? Is it that New World porcupines are smaller, that they often live in trees, that Old World porcupines only eat plants, or that Old World porcupines are nocturnal? The correct answer here is C. Old World porcupines only eat plants. The passage doesn't say anything about their diets being different, so that statement is false. Options A and B are differences mentioned in the passage, like their sizes and where they live. Option D is also mentioned, saying that Old World porcupines are nocturnal. Question 23. What happens in both Passage 1 and Passage 2 of two outings? Does someone get sick? Someone get lost? Someone get hurt? Or someone get hungry? The correct answer is B, someone gets lost. Elsie and Trisha both wander away from their brothers. Option A is wrong, because only Elsie feels a little sick, but Trisha doesn't. Option C is wrong, because nobody gets hurt in either passage. Option D is wrong, because hunger is only mentioned in Passage 1. Question 24. What do Elsie and Johnny do right before they ride the roller coaster? Do they eat cotton candy, go to the shooting gallery, go to the carnival, or ride the train? The correct answer is D, they ride the train. First, they have cotton candy, then they ride the train, and then they go on the roller coaster. Option A happened earlier in the story. Option B happens after the roller coaster. Option C is where their day starts, but it's not what they do right before the coaster. Question 25. Which of these is not one of the animals that Bobby and Trisha see at the zoo? Is it option A, tigers? Option B, lions? Option C, bears? Or option D, monkeys? The correct answer here is option B, lions. The story mentions tigers, monkeys, and bears, but not lions. So options A, C, and D are all animals that were mentioned in the passage. Question 26. Which choice correctly pairs brother and sister? Option A, Elsie and Trisha. Option B, Trisha and Johnny. Option C, Johnny and Bobby. Or option D, Bobby and Trisha. The answer is option D, Bobby and Trisha. They are siblings in the second passage we read. Option A mixes girls from different stories. Option B pairs characters that are not related. And option C pairs two brothers from separate stories. Question 27. What lesson do both Passage 1 and Passage 2 teach us? Is it option A, don't pet the animals? Option B, always pay attention? Option C, eat smart, eat healthily? Or option D, learn to use a map? The correct answer is option B, always pay attention. Both stories show kids who don't listen and end up getting separated. This teaches us how important it is to pay attention and stay safe. Option A is only about the zoo, not the carnival. Option C doesn't really fit either story. And option D only applies to Bobby, not Elsie. Question 28. In paragraph 1, the narrator suggests all of the following, except that he, option A, does not believe that any partnership can be balanced. Option B, would not mind working in groups if the group members did the same amount of work. Option C, prefers to work alone on projects for school. Option D, typically does more than his fair share of work on group projects. The correct answer is option A. The narrator actually says that balanced partnerships are possible, at least in theory. The other options are all things he does suggest. Question 29. According to the narrator, the term lone wolf is option A, accurate, option B, not factual, option C, offensive, option D, not common. The correct answer is option B, not factual. The narrator points out that real wolves live in packs, so the term isn't really accurate. Question 30. According to the passage, lions live in option A, pairs, option B, pods, option C, packs, option D, prides. The correct answer is option D, prides. That's what a group of lions is called. The other options refer to other types of animals. Question 31. As used in paragraph 5, the word solitary could be replaced with each of the following words, except for which one? Option A, isolated. Option B, alone. Option C, deadly. Option D, unaccompanied. The correct answer is option C, deadly. Solitary means being by yourself, so the other words all have similar meanings. Deadly is very different. Question 32. Which of the following best describes this passage? Option A. The narrator compares his own behavior to the behavior of a specific species to prove how strange he is. Option B. The narrator introduces facts about animal behavior to make a comparison between him and several animal species. Option C. The narrator describes himself and then suggests that animals are foolish for not being similar to him. Option D. The narrator describes the behaviors of many animal species to make an argument about how to be productive. The answer key says option A, but actually, option B is a better fit. The narrator talks about lots of different animals, not just one. So if your teacher wants you to pick option A, that's okay, but you should also be ready to explain why option B makes more sense. Question 33. Okay, our sentence is, the black dog growled angrily. I was frightened. We need to find the adjectives. Remember, adjectives are words that describe nouns. We have 4 numbered words. 1, black. 2, dog. 3, I. 4, frightened. Option A says 3 and 1. That's I and black. Option B says 1 and 4. That's black and frightened. Option C says 2 only. That's dog. Option D says none of the above. The correct answer is option B, 1 and 4. Black tells us what kind of dog it is. A black dog. And frightened tells us how the speaker feels. Dog is a noun. It's a thing. And I is a pronoun, which takes the place of a noun. So only black and frightened are adjectives in this case. Question 34. Here we need to fill in the blank. The school had been closed all week. Blank 34, it had snowed so heavily. Our choices are A, because, B, if, C, that. The correct answer is the word because. Because tells us the reason why the school was closed. The school was closed all week because it had snowed so heavily. If and that don't really explain the reason in this sentence. Question 35. Let's fill in the blank again. The head teacher said blank 35. The school would be open next week. The correct answer here is that. When we're telling someone what someone else said, we often use that. The head teacher said that the school would be open next week. Because would give a cause, but the sentence isn't about cause, and if would introduce a condition, which doesn't fit here. Question 36. Another fill in the blank. Even blank 36, the snow continued. The best word here is if. Even if shows us that something will happen no matter what. Even if the snow continued, the school would still be open. Because and that don't show that same idea. Question 37. Now let's find the adverbs in this sentence. Ed ran home quickly. He wanted to watch TV later. The numbered words are 1, home, 2, quickly, 3, TV, 4, later. Option A says 2 and 4, quickly and later. Option B says 1 only, home. Option C says 2 and 3, quickly and TV. Option D says none of the above. The correct answer is option A, 2 and 4. Quickly tells us how Ed ran, and later tells us when he wanted to watch TV. Adverbs often tell us how, when, where, or why something happened. Home is a noun, and it is a place. And TV is also a noun, so those aren't adverbs. Question 38. In the sentence, he is eating Laura's birthday cake. Which words show us the tense? Option A is eating. Option B, Laura's. Option C, he is. Option D, birthday cake. The correct answer is option A, is eating. The word is helps eating to show that it's happening right now. It's in the present continuous tense, meaning it's an action that's in progress. The other options don't show when the action is taking place. Question 39. Okay, time to complete the sentence. There was once a rich man who's died, leaving him with one little girl. Option A, rags. Option B, kitchen. Option C, wife. The correct answer is C, wife. The sentence needs a family member who can pass away, and wife fits perfectly. Rags and kitchen are things, not people, so they can't die. Question 40, last one. After some years, he again, this time a widow. Option A, married. Option B, present. Option C, eager. The correct answer is A, married. Married is the only verb that makes sense with again and a widow. After some years, he married again, this time a widow. Present and eager don't fit the sentence. Question 41. But his second wife was, and proud. Our options are A, haughty, B, miserable, and C, jealous. The correct answer is A, haughty. Haughty and proud go really well together because they almost mean the same thing. Miserable means really sad, and jealous means you want what someone else has, and neither of those really fit with being proud. Question 42. The poor little girl had a very unhappy time with her new, and our choices are A, wife, B, relations, and C, kitchen. B, relations is the right answer. Relations here means her relatives, like her stepmother and stepsisters. Wife doesn't make sense because we already know it's his wife, and kitchen is just a room, not a person. Question 43. Her stepsisters were of her. The options are A, married, B, jealous, and C, anxious. The answer here is B, jealous. The stepsisters were jealous because she was so pretty. Married doesn't really fit, and anxious means worried, which isn't quite right either. Question 44. They did all they could to make her, and the choices are A, miserable, B, relations, and C, country. A, miserable is our answer. They wanted her to be unhappy. Relations is people, and country is a place, not a feeling. Question 45. She was sent to live in the, and the options are A, country, B, eager, and C, kitchen. C, kitchen is the correct answer. In the Cinderella story, she had to work in the kitchen. Country means like outside in the fields, and eager is when you're really excited about something. Question 46. Because she was always dressed in, and our choices are A, rags, B, present, and C, haughty. The answer is A, rags. Rags are old, torn clothes. Present is like a gift, and haughty describes a person, not clothes. Question 47. He was very that the prince should be married. Options are A, miserable, B, anxious, and C, wife. B, anxious is the correct answer. Anxious means he really wanted the prince to get married, or he was worried about it. Miserable is being sad, and wife is a person. Question 48. He invited all the grand ladies in the to come to it. Our options are A, country, B, haughty, and C, rags. A, country is the answer. The king invited ladies from all over the country. Haughty and rags don't really make sense in this sentence. Question 49. People were very to be invited to it, and the choices are A, present, B, wife, and C, eager. C, eager is right. Everyone was excited or eager to go to the ball. Present means like a gift, and wife is a person. Question 50. The prince would choose his bride from among the ladies with options A, married, B, country, and C, present. C, present is the answer. Present means the ladies who are actually there at the ball. Okay, let's move on to some questions about hot dogs. It looks like we'll be reading some information off of a graph for these next questions, so make sure to pay attention. Question 51. How many hot dogs were sold on Friday? And the choices are A, 60, B, 20, C, 50, and D, 70. A, 60 is the answer. If you look at the graph, the line for Friday lines up with the number 60. Question 52. How many hot dogs were sold on Wednesday? Your options are A, 70, B, 20, C, 60, and D, 50. Looking at the graph, D, 50 is the answer because Wednesday's point is right at the 50 mark. Question 53. Did the number of hot dogs sold increase or decrease between Tuesday and Wednesday? And our options are A, increase, B, decrease, or C, it did not change. B, decrease is the correct answer. On Tuesday, they sold 70 hot dogs, but on Wednesday, they only sold 50, so the number went down. Question 54. Were more hot dogs sold on Monday or Thursday? We have options A, Monday, B, they sold the same amount, and C, Thursday. The correct answer is C, Thursday, because Thursday's sales of 80 hot dogs is much higher than Monday's sales of only 20. Question 55. Which day had the fewest hot dogs sold? Our options are A, Wednesday, B, Friday, C, Thursday, and D, Monday. The correct answer here is D, Monday. If you look at the line graph, Monday's sales are the lowest point. Question 56. How many eggs were laid on Tuesday? The options are A, 60, B, 96, C, 24, and D, 36. The answer is D, 36. See how the Tuesday bar goes all the way up to the 36 mark on the side? Question 57. How many eggs were laid on Thursday? Our choices are A, 72, B, 60, C, 36, and D, 96. The correct answer is A, 72, because Thursday's bar reaches the 72 mark on the graph. Question 58. Did the number of eggs laid increase or decrease between Monday and Tuesday? The options are A, decrease, B, increase, and C, no change. The answer is A, decrease. Monday had 60 eggs laid, but Tuesday only had 36, so the number went down. Question 59. Were more eggs laid on Wednesday or Friday? We have A, Wednesday, B, they laid the same amount, and C, Friday. The correct answer is C, Friday. Friday had 96 eggs laid, which is way more than Wednesday's 24. Question 60. Which day had the fewest eggs laid? Our options are A, Tuesday, B, Wednesday, C, Thursday, and D, Monday. The answer is B, Wednesday. The bar for Wednesday is the shortest, showing only 24 eggs laid. Question 61. Now we're looking at a pie chart about sports. The question is, which activity is least popular? Our options are A, rugby, B, softball, C, hockey, and D, karate. The correct answer is A, rugby, because its piece of the pie is only 11%, the smallest one. Question 62. Which two activities together make exactly half the chart? The options are A, rugby and softball, B, karate and softball, C, soccer and tennis, and D, soccer and karate. The answer is C, soccer and tennis. Soccer is 32%, and tennis is 18%. And if you add those together, you get 50%, which is half the pie. Question 63. Soccer and hockey together account for what share of the chart? Our choices are A, 42%, B, 44%, C, 46%, and D, 48%. The answer is B, 44%. Soccer is 32%, hockey is 12%, and 32 plus 12 equals 44. Question 64. Softball alone represents what percentage? The options are A, 13%, B, 11%, C, 14%, and D, 12%. The answer is A, 13%. The chart tells us clearly that softball is 13%. Question 65. Which sport is most popular? The options are A, rugby, B, karate, C, hockey, and D, soccer. The correct answer is D, soccer, because it has the biggest slice of the pie at 32%. Question 66. If baking at least 90 cookies lets Sarah sell extras, which months let her do that? The options are A, April and May, B, April, July, and August, C, April and June, and D, none. The correct answer is A, April and May. Each cookie icon stands for 12 cookies. April and May each have 8 cookie icons. 8 times 12 is 96, which is more than 90. So those are the only months where she can sell extras. Question 67. How many cookies were baked altogether in the 7-month period shown? We have our options. A, 480, B, 516, C, 540, and D, 528. The correct answer is B, 516. Here's how we get that answer. If you count all the cookie icons, you'll find there are 43 in total. Now, each cookie icon represents 12 cookies, so we multiply 43 by 12, which gives us 516 cookies. Question 68. Did Sarah bake more cookies in June or July? Our options are A, June, and B, July. The correct answer is B, July. The July row has one more cookie icon than the June row, so Sarah baked more cookies in July. Question 69. During which month did Sarah bake the greatest number of cookies? The options are A, June, B, May, C, April, and D, September. The correct answer is C, April. If we look at the chart, the April row has the most cookie icons, meaning Sarah baked the most cookies that month. Question 70. Which month shows the least cookies baked? Our options are A, October, B, April, C, August, and D, July. The correct answer is A, October. October only has a single cookie icon. Since each cookie icon equals 12 cookies, October has the smallest number of cookies baked. Question 71. Which letter is located at the coordinate 2, 5? Options A is U, B is P, C is Z, and D is T. The correct answer is A, U. On the grid, if you go to the point 2, 5, you'll find the letter U. Question 72. Which letter is at 4, 6? The options are AN, BR, CD, and DS. The correct answer is BR. The point 4, 6 has the letter R. Question 73. Which letter is at 9, 3? Options: A is T, B is M, C is H, and D is P. The correct answer is C, H. The plotted point 9, 3 is labeled H. Question 74. Which letter is at 7, 2? Our options are A, Z, B, F, C, T, and DH. The correct answer is CT. On the grid, the coordinate 7, 2 holds the letter T. Question 75. Which letter is at 6, 6? The options are AR, B, D, C, A, and DN. The correct answer is B, D. The coordinate 6, 6 is the location of the letter D. Question 76. Which letter is at 8, 6? The options are AM, B, Z, C, A, and DN. The correct answer is AM. The point 8, 6 shows the letter M. Question 77. Which letter is at 4, 9? Options A is N, B is P, C is S, and D is D. The correct answer is A, N. The letter N is plotted at 4, 9. Question 78. What letter is at the coordinate point 4, 4? The options are A, R, B, S, C, D, and D, A. The correct answer is B, S. Let's explain why. Think of a grid. You start at the beginning, at the origin. The coordinate point 4, 4 tells you to move 4 steps to the right and 4 steps up. When you do that, you'll see that you end up exactly where the letter S is. Now, why aren't the other options correct? Option A is R, but R isn't at 4, 4. Option C is D, but D also isn't at 4, 4. And option D is A, which isn't at 4, 4 either. So by carefully following the coordinate directions, we can see that the letter S at 4, 4 is the one that matches perfectly.
So now I'm going to be going through the answers to the MVR section of this homework. So for this first one, this is sort of like a mirror line. So this will also be like a mirror line. I'm just going to draw a triangle here at the top, a line with a black circle coming out here, and this sort of arrow thing with the rhombus at the end coming out here to this side. Because here, as you can see, we've got, this is like reflected, these arrows are reflected, so that's why I've drawn what I've drawn. So the answer, so the one that looks like this, with the this and this in the right positions, is B, and it's the only one that is correct. Next one. So as you can see here, the last shape, the fourth one, is always black and all the rest are white. So just looking at the answer options, we can already tell that the answer has got to be C because it's the only one with the black shape as the last or the fourth shape, if you're looking at it from left to right. But also, another thing is the rectangle also moves back one place if we're going round the box this way. So it's the fourth place here. The rectangle is now the third place, and then here it's in the second place. So now it's going to be in the first place here, which is in this one. So the answer is definitely C. Now to the next question. So here we've got a cross and a grey cross, and that becomes black, and the black circles become grey, so the colours swap. So here we've got this white star thing. It's going to stay the same, but the colour is going to swap. So we've got white and grey. So this is now going to become grey. I'll just shade it in to show that it's going to be grey. And then the parallelograms are now going to become white. So the way they're arranged, so the circles were arranged as if this was a mirror line. So let's draw them here. So as if this was a mirror line, one would be here and one would be here, and they're going to be white. So the answer of this one has got to be B. We've got the grey star thing and then the white parallelograms in the right position. Next question. So we got these, so we got this. So as you can see, the triangles remain in the same position in the box. So the circles will also remain the same. We're going to have 3 in the middle, horizontally. And then we'll get back to the colour of them in a second. Let's just draw the general shape of the box. And then, so this arrow here remains the same. So this arrow at the top will also remain the same, double-ended. And then the other arrow, so we've got the circle at the top and the arrowhead at the bottom. Now we've got the circle at the bottom and the arrowhead at the top. So it flips round. So here the arrow is pointing to the right. Now it's going to be pointing to the left. So from that we can rule out those two options. Now let's look at the colours. So it goes grey, white, black, black, white, grey. So they swap round. So here it's black, white, grey. So they're going to be grey, white, black. I don't know if you can tell what that says, but grey, white, black from left to right. So the answer is A, grey, white, black. And the arrows are correct as well. Next question. So here we've got 3/4 of a circle and then a full circle broken up into different sections. So this half splits into two quarters. So this half will also split into two, so 2 squares like that. So that's why we can already rule out those 3, and we can already tell the answer is going to be A. But just to confirm, this side we've got half the circle, including the bit that was missing in the original side. So half of the square, even including this missing bit, will be drawn here like that as a rectangle. So the answer is A. Next question. So the triangle was grey and the rectangle is white, and that swaps around in the next box. The triangle becomes white and the rectangle becomes grey. So here we can tell that the pentagon's got to be white and the heart's got to be black. So we can rule out A because it's just the same colours, they've not changed. Then let's draw it out. So the triangle rotates 90 degrees clockwise. So that was the shape that was in front. So here the heart is the shape that's in front. And as you can tell here, the triangle is now at the bottom. It's the underneath shape. So rotating the heart 90 degrees will make it look like that. Not going to draw it fully because the pentagon's going to go in front of it. Then we've got the rectangle, also rotates 90 degrees. And it's going to be in front of the triangle, so the pentagon will be in front of the triangle and rotated 90 degrees clockwise. It's going to end up looking like that. And also the heart becomes black. So the answer to this one is C. We've got the white pentagon rotated. The heart is underneath, as you can tell, because you can't see the end, the point bit of the heart. That's why it's not B, which is similar, because you can see the point bit of the heart because it's in front when it should be underneath the pentagon. And it's not a D because that's just wrong, just drawn wrong. Next question. So here, the general shape of it stays the same. So here we have this shape stays the same. So this rhombus will stay the same in the middle. Just draw it in. And then these corner shapes also stay the same. So I'm just going to draw them in because the circles stay the same. The only thing is different is they had lines here. They no longer have lines, so I'm not going to draw it. And the black goes to white, so the rhombus is going to be white. And it's now going to have two lines going through to the corners, from corner to corner. So the answer for this one has got to be A. Not B, even though it's drawn correctly because the rhombus is grey when it should be white. Not C because there's only one line and there should be two. And it's not D because these should be white, not black. Next question. So here we have a circle split into 4 sections, and then we have a circle split into 3 sections. So here we have a rhombus split into 4 sections. It's now going to be split into 3 sections. So we can already rule out A because it's only split into 2. And also the way the circle so here the lines are diagonal, now they're vertical and horizontal. So it's going to be like a square looking, and the missing bit is here in this corner. So let's just draw it out. Missing bit in this corner. So the answer for this one has got to be D. Got 3 sections of the square. The missing bit is in the top right corner. That's why it's D. Next question. So here, this rectangle shape with curved edges now moves to the bottom, moves down. So the circle, which is the top shape, is going to move down to the bottom. The pattern inside remains the same. It's checkered here. Remains checkered. So here they're just vertical lines going through it. It's going to stay the same. So that's why we can already rule out B, because it's got this now checkered pattern in it when it shouldn't have. And we can rule out D because it's now got diagonal lines going through it. Next, onto the other 2 shapes. So as you can see, we've got 2 different patterns. Here we've got a brick pattern and this checkered pattern. They flipped round, so the brick pattern was here, now it's here, and then the other one was here, now it's here. So here I'm going to just draw the 2 moon shapes. So this pattern, which was the diagonal lines, was on the left, now it's going to be on the right. And then this other cross pattern will now be here. So that's why the answer to this one is going to be A. So it's not C because, as you can see, both of them have the diagonal pattern when it shouldn't be. So yep. Now on to the next question. So for this one, we've got some arrows. So here we've got a double-ended arrow. And then here we've also got a double-ended arrow, but the arrowhead's now become blacked out. And also we've got a slight bend going through the middle of the arrow line. So I'm looking at these two boxes now, the top and bottom one, instead of side-by-side ones, which you can do if it works. So here I'm just going to draw them out. So here we've got this one, draw it, so they're going to have a slight curve in the middle of the line. I'm going to draw them blacked out because the bottom ones are blacked out. And then two going through the middle. Their arrowheads are pointing inwards, so don't forget that. So the answer to this one is B. It's not, well, C and D are just definitely wrong. It's not A because, as you can see, the arrowheads are pointing out for these horizontal ones when they should be pointing inwards. Next question. So here we have a square and then we have a triangle. So 4 sides and then 3 sides with -1. So here we have the square. So we're going to have a triangle here as well because we -1. And then the outside shapes here are pentagons. So they're 5-sided, -1. So we're going to have a 4-sided shape, so squares as the other shapes. But another thing to notice is that the pentagons are all at each corner of the square. So the squares for this one are going to be at each corner of the triangle. So there's going to be three squares. So the answer to this one is A. Got the triangle in the middle, 3 squares, all at each corner of the triangle. Now for the last question. So here we have this rectangle, the black circle in it. That moves further up and to the right. Here, so I'm going to just draw this shape, this curved thing, slightly up. I'm going to draw it so there's space for this other one to go through it, so I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Then we're going to have this other white rectangle going through it. So for this one, I'm going to have the white curved thing going through it like that. Like that. And then we're going to have one vertical one going in front of the diagonal one, like that. So the answer to this one is B, because, just to make it clear again, so this one is going in front, that one's right at the front or the top, like this one is. Then we've got this diagonal one that is behind that pink one that I've done, but it's in front of the third one. So this one was behind the pink one, but it's in front of the other one. And this yellow one is right at the back. So, yeah, that's why the answer is B. And that's the end of this one for the MVR questions.
Question 91. Big, bin, tin, and sad, blank, dig. Our options are A, sig, B, add, or C, sag. The answer here is C, sag. See how bin takes the outside letters of big and places them on the inside? That's the pattern. So we take the S and D from sad, put them on the outside of the I in dig, and we get SAG, sag. Sig uses the wrong vowel, and add doesn't use the right letter combination, so they don't fit. Question 92. Fan, ant, tap, and gel, blank, koi. A, elk, B, go, or C, log? The answer is A, elk. The pattern places the first 2 letters of gel, G, and E around the vowel from koi, which is O. That would spell G-E-K. but we rearrange it to make the real word elk. Go is too short, and log uses the wrong letters. Question 93. Mark, tar, tell, and fort blank name. Your choices are A, nor, B, tame, or C, more. A, nor is correct. We use the first letters of fort, F and O, and the vowel from name, which is A. If we switch the letters around, this gives us nor. Tame just repeats a word, and more uses the wrong letters. Question 94. Pile top, atom and note, blank scar. A, art, B, can, or C, cat. The answer is B, can. This time, we use the first letter of note, which is N, and the last letter of scar, which is R, and put them around the vowel A. This gives us C-A-N, can. Art doesn't use the right letters. And cat mixes them up. Question 95. Fall, lit, sift and time, blank carp. A, pit, B, tarp, or C, map. The answer is C, map. We take the first letters from time, T, and I, and place them around the vowel from carp, which is A. That gives us M-A-P, map. Pit doesn't use letters from time, and tarp messes up the pattern. Question 96. Bust, tub, trim, and dump. Blank base. A, bud, B, some, or C, bump. The answer is A, bud. We use the first letters from dump, which are D and U, and the first letters from base, which are B and A. The pattern is to insert the middle vowel from base, which is U, between D and B. Recombining the letters forms the word bud. Some and bump don't use the right letters. Question 97. Part eat, tune, and dark blank deal. A, ear, B, lead, or C, lad. The answer is C, lad. In this case, the correct simple combination is L-A-D spelled lad from L and D wrapping around A. Option A, ear, does not use the correct outer letters. Option B, lead, would use L and D, but the vowel comes from the wrong word. Option C, lad, follows the sequence by combining L from dark and D from deal around A. Question 98. Missin, dune and redo, blank tank. A, dot B, nod, C, den. The correct answer is C, den. The first two letters of redo are R and E. The first two letters of tank are T and A. According to the puzzle's intended relationship, the first letter of the missing word is D from redo after R, the middle vowel is E from redo, and the last letter is N from tank after T. That spells D-E-N, or den. Option A, dot, uses D and T around O, but O is not the vowel from redo. Option B, nod, uses N and D around O. Again, O is not from redo, and the letters do not match the specified positions. Only den satisfies the correct letter positions. Question 99. Rain, kin, rank and main, blank mist. Options are A, sim, B, man, C, tin. The correct answer is C, tin. The first two letters of main are M and A, and the first two letters of mist are M and I. We use M and I as outer letters around A, the vowel from main, which spells M-A-I-M, incorrect. Instead, to correctly follow the pattern, we pick T-I-N. Option A, sim, changes too many letters. Option B, man, uses M and N around A, but fails to incorporate the I. Option C, tin, uses T and N around I, matching the pattern of mixing first two letters of one word with the vowel of the other, making tin. Question 100. Complete the word pair pattern in the sequence mile, lit, bits and mask, blank tied. Options are A sad, B dam, C C. The correct answer is A sad. The first two letters of mask are M and A, and the first two letters of tied are T and I. The pattern takes M and I as outer letters around A, which spells M-A-I-M, but the option that matches the combination is SAD. Option B, dam, uses D and M around A, but fails to incorporate the correct outer letters. Option C places S and A around E, which does not follow the pattern. Only SAD uses A as the middle letter, with S and D from the first and last letters of the original words in the proper arrangement. Question 101. We're going to rewrite a little story about Lynn, but we need to put it in the simple past tense. That means we're talking about things that already happened. The original story says, Lynn wakes up at 8 o'clock. She brushes her teeth and goes downstairs. She eats breakfast and drinks coffee. She yawns, leaves the house, and shuts the door behind her. Now, let's change those verbs to the past tense. Wakes up becomes woke up. Brushes becomes brushed. Goes becomes went. Eats becomes ate. Drinks becomes drank. Yawns becomes yawned. Leaves becomes left. Shuts becomes shut. So the correct answer is, Lynn woke up at 8 o'clock. She brushed her teeth and went downstairs. She ate breakfast and drank coffee. She yawned, left the house, and shut the door behind her. See how we changed each action word to show it already happened? Question 102. This time we have a passage about animals on the African savanna, and we need to divide it into paragraphs and give each paragraph a title. Remember, paragraphs are like little sections that focus on one idea. We'll use Castor / to show where a new paragraph begins. The passage: ostriches are the world's largest birds. Although they can't fly, they have long, muscular legs, allowing them to run much faster than other birds. They live in the African savanna. Cheetahs are also characterized by their running ability. They can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. Unlike leopards, cheetahs mostly hunt during the daytime. Another savanna animal is the giraffe, which is the tallest animal in the world. Because they are so tall, they can eat leaves that most other animals cannot reach. Here's how we can break it down. Ostriches are the world's largest birds. Although they can't fly, they have long, muscular legs, allowing them to run much faster than other birds. They live in the African savanna / cheetahs are also characterized by their running ability. They can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. Unlike leopards, cheetahs mostly hunt during the daytime. Another savanna animal is the giraffe, which is the tallest animal in the world. Because they are so tall, they can eat leaves that most other animals cannot reach. Now let's give it a title and subtitles. Heading: Animals of the African Savanna. Subheading 1, Ostriches. Subheading 2, Cheetahs. Subheading 3, Giraffes. The first paragraph was all about ostriches, so that's our first subheading. The second paragraph talked about cheetahs, and the third was about giraffes. Make sense? Question 103. Let's talk about quotation marks. These are also called inverted commas. We use them when we want to show the exact word someone said. The sentence is, that'll be £5.52, please. To show that someone said this, we put quotation marks around the whole sentence. That'll be £5.52, please. See how the quotation marks go at the beginning and end of what was said? Question 104. Here's another one with quotation marks. I gave the man the money and said, thank you. Where do the quotation marks go? Just around what I said. I gave the man the money and said, thank you. Question 105. Now we're going to make a line graph. A line graph helps us see how something changes over time. In this case, we're tracking how many coins someone collected each year. Here's the information. 2010 to 15 coins. 2011 to 15 coins. 2012 to 30 coins. 2013 to 40 coins. 2014 to 25 coins. To make the graph, draw a horizontal line, the x-axis, and write the years along it. Draw a vertical line, the y-axis, and write numbers for the number of coins. For each year, put a dot where the year and number of coins meet. So for 2010, put a dot at 15 coins. Then connect the dots with lines. What does the graph show? It goes up, 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 and then it goes down a little. Question 106. This question is about a pie chart that shows favorite pizza toppings. Remember, a pie chart is like a pizza cut into slices, and each slice shows how much of something there is. We want to know what percentage of customers chose spinach or ham. Spinach, 28%. Ham, 10%. To find the total, we add those percentages together. 28% plus 10% equals 38%. So the answer is C, 38%. Question 107. Using that same pie chart, Which topping is the most popular? Look for the biggest slice. Spinach is 28%, which is bigger than all the other toppings. So the answer is D, spinach. Question 100 in. Finally, what percentage of customers pick chicken? The pie chart tells us that chicken is 13%. So the answer is A, 13%. Let's keep going. Question 109. Back to the pie chart of pizza toppings. This time, we need to find which two toppings together make up half or 50% of the purchases. A, bacon/ham, 22% plus 10% equals 32%, too small. B, spinach/bacon, 28% plus 22% equals 50%. That's it. C, sausage/beef, 15% plus 12% equals 27%, too small. D, ham/beef, 10% plus 12% equals 22%, too small. So the correct answer is B, spinach/bacon. Question 110. Now, which topping is the least popular? We need to find the smallest slice of the pie. A, bacon, 22%. B, spinach, 28%. C, sausage, 15%. D, ham, 10%. Ham is the smallest at 10%, so the answer is D, ham. Questions 111 to 120. Okay, now we're going to work with coordinate grids. Imagine a map with lines going across and up and down. We use numbers to tell exactly where something is on the map. These numbers are called ordered pairs. The first number tells you how far to go to the right, and the second number tells you how far to go up. Let's do some examples. Question 111. Point G is at 6, 5. That means we go 6 squares to the right and 5 squares up. Question 112. Point V is at 8, 1. So 8 squares to the right and 1 square up. Question 113. Point R is at 9, 4. 9 right, 4 up. Question 114. Point C is at 8, 7. 8 right, 7 up. Question 115. Point E is at 4, 1. 4 right, 1 up. Question 116. Point L is at 2, 5. 2 right, 5 up. Question 117. Point Q is at 1, 7. 1 right, 7 up. Question 118. Point A is at 4, 10. 4 right, 10 up. Question 119. Point Y is at 5, 8. 5 right, 8 up. Question 120. Point K is at 2, 2. 2 right, 2 up. Remember, always go right first, then up. Questions 121 to 122. Last, we have a pictograph. A pictograph uses pictures to show information. In this case, each cookie picture stands for 12 cookies. Question 121. In May, Sarah baked 10 cookie symbols. So she baked 10 times 12 equals 120 cookies. Question 122. In September, she baked 6 cookie symbols. So she baked 6 times 12 equals 72 cookies. Great job, everyone.